Go, Mike! Go, 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 go!
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Bike Vids. On this episode of Bike Vids, I want to talk about some cyclocross, in particular, the Bay Area Super Prestige series that just wrapped up recently. I love bikes here at Bike Vids. Hopefully you can tell. Occasionally, I decide to really just go for it, and that's what I did on this race series. So I've got some amazing race footage from race 5. We're going to talk about some race strategy, but race 1 was beautiful. Of course, this is California, so a lot of these races, it's, dusty, dry, not the typical East Coast or European wet and rainy and cold cyclocross. Race 2 and 3 were here in my hometown of Santa Cruz. Had a slight injury requiring an emergency room visit on race 2 due to a fall into a stump. But hey, made it back for race 3 and race 4 down in Prunedale was kind of my race. I really went for it. And then, of course, race 5 that we'll talk about. So, hey, were you at that series too? It was so much fun. Let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy this episode of Bike Vids. So let's get into it.
No Crashies, no Flatties, no Whammies.
Go, Mike! Go, 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 go!
How come I cooperate with him? Me and my left hand, we share something special. We call her the stranger, and strange ways we were.
So I'd tried a few different race strategies this season. Traditionally, I have always been a little hesitant to really push the starting line sprint. Maybe just kind of scared or feeling kind of like I don't want to get in people's way, a little bit of a imposter syndrome. And consequently, most of my strategy in the past has been tracking people down and passing them during the race. Today, I purposely wanted to fall back. What I did today was try to keep the top 10 or 5 to 7 folks in sight, but have some security. This is a mental security to just feel it out and let it go and judge how I'm feeling while kind of keeping those folks in sight. Something I wanted to do was let the first 5 or 10 folks ahead of me off the line, but try to keep them in eyesight and have basically the confidence to just let that play out, particularly through the first lap, and trust that my fitness is there to move up through the ranks for the rest of the race.
Yeah, I tried and it was too hard to be good like all the bad that I've done. So I took my place in the
you know, the key obviously is keeping folks in eyesight, and not if you're noticing, you know, some groups breaking away to, you know, abandon that ship. But I didn't, you know, as soon as I kind of tasted blood here at Bike Vids, I do have that competitive spirit, and as soon as I kind of unleashed that and I kind of realized, hey, you know, there's some slower folks in front of me doing their thing, which is rad, I kind of decided, I basically started to go for it during the first lap, but yet still not completely worry about it. I was trying to channel a sense of calm in the first lap, and not worry about that single lap determining my results. That's my race strategy. That was my race strategy. Something else that this is kind of the second race I did this in was, and maybe, I mean, you know, maybe this is not the smartest, but you don't, it's not like you have the, you know, an endless amount of time, but using my race time before the race to, yeah, do a practice lap, maybe one or two, or maybe even just one, but focusing actually more of that before race prep time on more of a proper warm-up, and basically feeling out the track and feeling like, okay, I basically get it. You know, I get some of the spots, I get the hard parts, I get the parts where you could pass, I get the parts where you can recover, and just kind of forgetting about that and then worrying about a proper warm-up. You could see that, you know, I'm guessing I'm like maybe top 5 or something at this point, but I'm passing a few people, and this is the hardest part of the course in terms of fitness, because it's this prolonged uphill that zigzags and up. And so on lap 2, I'm gonna hit this part a little bit harder and, you know, basically catch these race leaders, knowing that there's a little recovery afterwards, and also knowing that I was feeling pretty relaxed on the kind of second half of the course, so that, you know, I will have some time to recover. Also here it's a little bit, I'm at the time unclear, are these folks am I passing some of my category race leaders, or am I passing some folks that are at the tail end of the previous start, which was the 35 B men's start.
If I learn to relax, or hand in all bad things, for a life full of good things, with chairs and with hats, is that all there's there is to know? A wink and my time, boy, he was mine. Kind of guy, he's counting dreams,
There's a couple things going on right now. One is the field's pretty spread out. I know that I'm kind of in the top, I guess 3 or 5, or you know, somewhere up there too. And then right there on the left, I see basically who's probably the first place rider. The other thing is I'm noticing lines like this that I just knew in the first lap with other riders around that I couldn't take as fast. The third thing is, out of that excitement of taking that perfect line, I overshot that turn. But this is a really fast part too that I felt like on the first lap, when I was kind of just feeling it out, people weren't necessarily taking advantage of. I'm feeling like, okay, you know, this is lap 2. I'm figuring I'm gonna catch that guy. I'm gonna catch that person in front of me, who at this point is about halfway up this climb.
Some of the wing and a Mai Tai. Explain to everyone we He was
At this point, I feel, again in my mind, I'm not, you know, the psychology of me at the time is I'm feeling like I got this. You know, I have this person in my sights, I've closed this gap, and it's just whether it happens on this climb or on some other part of the course, I'm feeling secure. And you know, just thinking ahead and planning for when when I you know take the lead, which sounds like kind of dumb, I guess, but like at the, you know, like at the time I'm I'm trying to be very mentally focused on the task at hand.
Is that all that
We got
there
this.
was to
Yeah.
Something else that you can now see, of course, is that there's just clear paths in front of you, and that's great. But also, I'm just thinking about my kind of mantra. I'm thinking about no flatties, no crashies, no whammies. I'm just thinking about riding the race, and you know, there's still a lot that can happen in any cyclocross race. So just trying to make it happen, but at the same time, you know, part of me is already just getting stoked here for Team Bike Vids. I do try to talk to myself during a race out loud. I kind of have a mantra that I tell myself, And then also, you know, I just like to kind of talk myself through some things while out there on the course.
Smooth, focus, calm. Smooth, focus, calm. Smooth, focus, calm. Smooth, focus, calm. Last time through the water hole.
So everyone's asking, you know, what is this Bike Vids key to success in terms of training and preparation? Besides just doing what I love, which is riding my bike a lot and running, I have started to do some intentional training around like maximum efforts and doing short, intense maximum efforts. Thank you, Rain. I've also, you know, really just in terms of the week of the event, just getting lots of sleep, doing a lot of mental practice. I'm a kind of a high anxiety type of person, and so just really thinking through events, and that's really what it means for me, and maybe foregoing some things that would be fun that I would like to do and staying focused on the races. Alright folks, in the production of this video, it's actually started to rain here a little bit in Santa Cruz, California, which is awesome. I hope you enjoyed watching. I have so much more thoughts and ideas to say about this race series. If you have any questions, comments, let me know. You can kind of see in the background, of course, I rode the Haka MX during this whole series, which performed great. But anywho, I hope you're doing well, and we'll see you next time here at Bike Vids. Ciao.